What if I told you that the so-called balance of trade is a load of crap? The balance of trade is a well-known and long-running economic fallacy, described the bestest by Friedrich Bastiat, a French economist? By the way, expect to see a lot of him in other videos. Anyways, it goes a bit like this. In personal finance, you have to make money to spend it. If you spend more than you make, you go into debt. So eventually every expense has to be matched by an equivalent income, unless you're in the government. So anyway, when looking at international trade, it's natural to assume that a similar principle applies, and a big deal is made whenever a country seems to be importing more than it exports. This is very misleading, though, and the root of a lot of unfounded fear. When talking about trade volumes, we talk in terms of the dollar amounts as a measurement of the goods themselves, not the actual money flow between the two nations. This is very important to remember. Let me put it to you this way. Let's say we have two nations, Miscellanea, which produces a lot of macaroni art, and Exeteria, which specializes in bricks. Now, an enterprising Miscellanean buys $100 worth of macaroni art and takes it over to Exeteria. On the way out of Miscellanea, the customs agent records an export of $100. Now in Exeteria, our entrepreneur sells the macaroni art for $200, twice what it was valued over in Miscellanea. He then decides that since he's there, he might as well grab some bricks to sell at home, and buys $100 worth of bricks. Upon returning, the bricks are valued at $200, once again double what it was valued in the other country, and so our customs officer records an import of $200. Then, Mr. Entrepreneur sells the bricks. So let's take a look at our balance of trade. Miscellanea exported $100 worth of goods and imported $200. Exeteria also exported $100 but imported $200. So that's kind of odd. We seem to have $200 of goods which simply appeared from thin air. But if we thought about it, the goods are worth different amounts at different places. Just by shuffling them around, our merchant has created value, and in so doing was rewarded for the amount of value he created with an extra $200 in his pocket, which we call profit, and his mother-in-law calls not good enough. So, to recap, the merchant moves goods to where they are most needed and useful, gets his reward, and continues, naturally making everyone better off. If the proponents of trade balance had their way, we would force him, probably at the taxpayer's expense, to buy macaroni art at a great expense in Exeteria, where macaroni art is rare, to go ahead and sell it cheaply in Miscellanea, and send bricks the other direction, putting on the silliest show while just destroying value. So, while looking at the policy decisions your country makes or proposes, remember to consider the unseen substance and not just the flashy, misleading numbers thrown around. If you'd like to explore further, read The Balance of Trade by Friedrich Bastiat by clicking here. And please, discuss in the comment section below, we'd love to hear from you, and we may choose some questions to answer at the end of the next video.